This is
All
Chris
right.
Morrow at Comic-Con at Home. I'm remotely connecting at Tin Fish. And the panel is Comic-Con Film School. Hello.
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 Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Please introduce yourself and tell us where your home is.
Well, I guess I'll go first. My name is Sean Rourke. I'm the moderator for the panel, and I am coming to you from Los Angeles.
Okay, hi, I'm Valerie Perez. I'm home in Los Angeles, and I am not only one of the longest running instructors, but I'm also a graduate of the film school. I joined after taking Sean's very first class at Comic-Con, and then did my own projects and joined the faculty the following year.
That is true.
Can confirm. Brad?
I am Bradley Upton. I live in North Hollywood. And I've been doing this for maybe 13 years. I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't in the first one, but maybe the second or third year.
That sounds right. Yeah, definitely over 10.
Yes, over 10.
Well, Jack, you've been so gracious to let everyone else go ahead of you. Tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Jack Conway. I'm a producer. I've known Sean for a very long time. We were, in fact, college roommates, and came up in production and entertainment together. And I also am in Los Angeles and have been doing this since, I guess, the first year this started, I think.
Yeah, that's true. You were on the very first panel.
That was many, many years. And I mean, just the evolution of that is kind of crazy because we used to tell people how to shoot on camcorders and how to edit actual film at one point. Maybe that probably wasn't a thing, but yeah, or how you could rent these bajillion-dollar cameras that now our phones are infinitely better than. So we've really seen a lot come and go in that time, and we've seen a lot and we've seen YouTube and Facebook Live and Vine and TikTok. We've watched just all different kinds of distribution of how people can watch movies and make movies. We've watched the rise of Netflix becoming something very different, Hulu and all those, and all the different OTTs, and just how that entire landscape has completely changed. So in that time, we've gotten to see just how quickly that's come along. It's pretty cool. Megan, can we hear you yet?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan Rees, and I'm primarily an actor, but I also do some directing and producing. And I'm in Los Angeles.
Great. Well, welcome everyone. Tell me about how the panel went. I mean, I'd love to hear some details on it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, actually, I just watched it back. We're pulling the curtain back just a little bit to if we say that we didn't actually record this panel live. We actually recorded this several weeks ago and then submitted the video file to Comic-Con.
Changed outfits real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was our third act costume change from that interview, that one you just saw.
Right. But I don't know about you guys, but I just watched it back kind of in real time once it was posted. And, we kind of sounded like we knew what we were talking about. Usually when we did, yeah, exactly. When we do Comic-Con Film School, when Comic-Con is, actually up and live, we do it over 4 days, and we have different days for the different aspects of making a movie. We've got a day for pre-production, a day for production, camera shooting, a day for directing actors and working with the crew, and then we've got a day for post-production. But we were only able to do a 45-minute panel this time around, so we decided to sort of do our greatest hits and do a bit of a top 10 list of sort of what each of us considers to be one of the most important lessons that we teach during the class. So this was sort of the Sparks Notes version of Comic-Con Film School. And if any of you guys would like to jump in with how you felt like the panel went, I don't know if you guys have watched it back yet or not.
I did. I just watched it. I thought we did a really good job. I agree with you. It was very truncated, and it was kind of you buy laundry detergent that's concentrated, so you get all the power. Smaller little disc. That sort of felt like. I mean, but when there, I don't think any of your. And by the way, Sean's being way too modest. He runs this thing. He puts together the syllabus. He's been putting this together every year, and he really does break down for even if you are familiar with filmmaking or if you're just coming from nowhere and you just want to try something out. Sean is very good about going step by step and explaining, what you need to be able to do that, which, as we've said, has changed over the years. But I think when pressed with what's the most important, I think a lot of us kind of strip down the things that we would just talk about normally and be like, this is what you really need to walk away with, is this important thing. I don't know if as a viewing audience, if that's more like stressful, that it's everything, you've got to get the bullet points and you must learn these things. Like it's, you can't like relax and think about your next panel you're going to go to. You're like, okay, everything's important. I must know all of this. What do you guys think?
Do you think that Comic-Con at home, well, it's kind of like the year of the freshman, right? Anybody can watch Comic-Con. You don't have to have a ticket. I mean, you can print your own ticket out, right? And you can watch it over and over again. So do you think because it's the year of the freshman that more people are going to have exposure to your film, to your panel versus going to the convention center? And did you hook them?
What's interesting is that, and I don't know if you guys notice this or not, but so every year when we do the panel, all 4 days, it's a lot of it is the same material every single time, with just sort of updates as sort of the technology gets a little better, or as YouTube changes a little bit. But every year we sort of, like, I'm always afraid that people are going to come in and be like, oh, it's kind of the same stuff as last year. But we always have a brand new audience every year. And it's always right around the 100-person mark at like our busiest panel day. And when I logged into the YouTube channel just now and looked, we had 120 people had started viewing the video. So we are right on track with our usual number of people coming to the panel. The nice thing about this is that obviously this is going to be up forever. So people can watch this at any time, which is super cool. I don't know how much viewing Comic-Con panels of years past we'll get, but it is nice to know that, like, for the first time in the history of Comic-Con, the whole world can come to the convention. And you don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to get a hotel? Or, are the passes going to sell out for the day that I want to come? Like, all of these things that are usually the very exciting gauntlet of will I go or will I not go, is just sort of on pause, and everybody can come. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally really excited about, just the whole world can log in and watch Comic-Con Film School if they want for the first time.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's also kind of cool about it is even the people who come to the convention, you're competing with so many other panels at the same time. So people who might be interested in filmmaking might decide that they want to go to the Marvel panel that happens at the same time, or whatever panel that it is. So people that maybe would still be able to go to the convention but not be able to go to your panel can watch it. And I have a lot of my friends like at home, they're like, oh, that's so cool that you're on a panel, but I'm obviously not gonna be able to see it. So yeah, it's interesting because we're kind of broadening our reach in a way that we can't really do in person, even though it's obviously a different dynamic in a live setting. But to be able to share that with everybody is kind of fun.
Yeah, I think, Rourke, you've heard me say this before, but 2020 is a lot of things, but it is the year of no FOMO. Like, everyone gets to do everything. You're not missing out on anything. I last month I went to a Deadmau5 concert in the game Fortnite, and it was kind of amazing. And like all weekend, I've been at Hall H, man. I've front row in my pajamas. This is great.
Yeah,
I know there's obviously downsides.
Get into Hall H.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah. I've gotten to see some really top-notch stuff this weekend from Comic-Con that I would never get to see, and it's kind of fascinating.
Do you think that filmmaking is different during the pandemic because you're a one-man band versus, I guess, collaborating, or is collaborating easier now because of the, being at home?
That is an excellent question. Actually,
Megan is like she said, actress, producer, writer, and you've been working on a production, like on an indie film, right, during quarantine?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It was actually originally designed to be a stage play.
Oh.
we obviously can't bring actors in together to not only rehearse but also perform, whether or not there's an audience. So what we ended up doing is we turned it into a film project, and we filmed every single actor individually on a green screen. And now it's been, principal photography is finished. Now it's in post-production. Thankfully, I am not in charge of that, to composite all of those pieces together so that it looks as if they're interacting in the same space. So you've got one actor here on a green screen and the other actor over here on the green screen. You composite it together and it looks like they're talking to each other in the same room. So it's required a lot of creativity in a way that normally we wouldn't have to think in those sort of ways. But there's definitely ways to get around the quarantine issue by thinking creatively. And in some ways it's opening up a completely new set of, I mean, just this is the type of art that would never even happen in any sort of normal world. So so to think creatively and think outside the box like that has been an interesting challenge, but I think it's been a really beneficial one because we're coming up with solutions that, you know, to keep producing art in a world that really needs it right now.
Right.
I think whenever you have constraints on artists, they have to find new ingenious ways to get around it. And I know that I've done my best work when there's been some major obstacle that have got my creative juices or our creative juices going, that we wouldn't have had choices we would have made that turned out to be quite interesting, that wouldn't have happened if we didn't have something pushing us in that way. Because when you have a blank canvas, when everything is possible, when everything is easy, you just get that writer's block. But when you've actually got a constraint to start on, that's actually a stepping stone to making some creative choices and working through a problem and somewhere to start.
And sort of making your own movie, like
making an indie film is an exercise in being bounded in by a box. You have restrictions and limitations due to what your money situation is and where you are located and what people you have access to. And so that's already sort of baked into the art form. So to just throw a viral outbreak on top of that just seems like, you know, it's people already who are already good at doing this sort of thing, just having to turn it up to 11. So I would imagine we're probably going to see some pretty cool quarantine projects come out of this in very creative ways.
We'll let him adjust there.
Yeah, sorry.
Brad's working out his DP skills to your example.
Well, I was holding the camera. Found something to perch it on.
I think the look too of films and such, you know, as we watch, I think we're getting used to just seeing Zoom interviews, you know, like this look is something that now home audiences are just used to. And I think even when I watch just like videos from like 4 months ago when people are just standing next to each other, I now instinctively am like, oh, they're not, why aren't they wearing masks? Like even if something that was shot earlier. And I think that that's just going to be a new look that if it's not that, it's going to feel weird. Like we're reestablishing now what cinema of this era, I mean era is a big jump, but like of at least the next few years is going to look like. You'll be able to tell exactly what was happening in the world by all the output that we make at this time. It's going to be interesting.
On that note, thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing the panel. This is Chris Morrow, Comic-Con at home, remotely at Tin Fish. Thank you. We miss you, and we'll see you next year.
Hope so.
Miss you too. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hi.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Too.